is just an example of how Rhino treats data. Rhino has got, this is an example of how Rhino handles data. I'm just going to create circles within circles within circles, and it's going to demonstrate how a single piece of data can be made into a list, and that list can be made into a data tree. And a data tree is a little bit like the folder and file system that exists on your computer, where you have folders inside of folders inside of folders with things in them. So I'm just going to start with a circle. I'm just going to start with a thing that can build a circle, and there's nothing there. And I type XYZ, which will construct a point because it's waiting for a point. And I connect the point to the circle, and you can see on the screen on the Rhino window I've got a circle. So I just need to give this a size, and I'm going to create a slider which could be quite big. So let's just say 200. So this is going to get really big. Oops, just disconnect that. So now I have to zoom out because this circle's pretty big. So maybe we can make it a little bit smaller. So we'll just leave the center of the circle there, that's fine. And at this point we can just have a quick look at what is coming out of here, and it's just created one circle, 161 millimeters. So what we're going to do is subdivide the circle, which is a curve. So we're going to divide the curve up like this, and it's got a default amount of 10. So we'll just reduce that to 5. And now we can see what's going on here, which is a list of points. So it's divided the circle up into a list of points. So we're going to use those points as the center of another bunch of circles. We can just have the same radius for now, just to see what happens. Sorry, the small radius to see what happens. That's a bit small. So we've got circles which are sitting on the circumference of another circle. So you can see we've got 4 circles. Here we can increase the number of circles. And you can see here that the single line, the thin line, has got a single piece of data in it, and the thick line has got multiple pieces of data in it. So what happens when we do this again? So we can just subdivide those circles . And again, it's got 10, so we'll just reduce that to 5. can draw the circle. We can use those points as the center of a new set of circles. Like this. So you can see now that we've got circles sitting on circles that are sitting on circles, and that this line here has now gone into a dashed line. And what that means is that we have got a data tree. So you can see here that each circle is nested inside another circle. So this is circle 0, which is associated with these 5 circles. This is circle 1, which is associated with these 5, and so on. So you have a structure here. It's just like a folder system. And just to make this a little bit more interesting, we can make this into they can make these circles into a boundary. And we can preview that in the window. So the default color is a sort of off-white, and we can change that with by creating a RGB. So there's nothing, no value at the moment, so we can, it's expecting something between 0 and 255, so that's, as you go down it gets darker. And interestingly, what we can do is create a list of those numbers. So we can have 0, 25, 255, and it can affect the colour of the circles. Obviously, if you change this list, it'll change those colours. So if we look back at the structure, we can see that we start out with a single circle, which is held in place by this point, and then that circle is divided up 6 times, and those points are then passed to the circle creation component, which makes 6 circles, and those 6 circles sit on top of the previous circle, and then we repeat that. The circle is then divided, those circles, because there's a few of them, are then divided up, and those points are passed along to this new other circle creation component, which makes a whole bunch of circles, and those circles are then passed to the boundary component, which fills them in as a little bit of a surface, and then that's passed to the preview component, which shows them, renders them in the Rhino window, and we can colour those with a list, or we could do some other clever thing. And this is a very simple way of seeing how Grasshopper creates complicated data trees